Check it out. I'm sorry about that. Now them sisters gotta pack up and leave. And y'all trying to teach us something. They could have just left. How y'all trying to teach us something? Y'all ain't getting that wrong. They could have just left. Come on, man. I know. He needs to chill out. All guys. What they do wrong? I want to know what they did wrong. It's a camera. Hey guys, y'all get on that side, cause they handcuffed these guys. Y'all messed over these guys, so y'all not getting handcuffed. So y'all they getting handcuffed, and they was just trying to get their chair. They was trying to get their chair, and they getting handcuffed. It's on camera, bro. They assaulted these people when they about to go. Oh my goodness. They walking away. They the ones jumped on him. They jumped on him, bro. They were up here just communicating. They was up here going back and forth in words. And it broke out into a physical altercation, but it ended up being an Israelite fight. They physically had a fight with each other, had to call the police, and I had nothing to do with it. I was just here to fix. They were up here just communicating. They was up here going back and forth in words. And it broke out into a physical altercation, but it ended up being an Israelite fight. They physically had a fight with each other, had to call the police, and I had nothing to do with it. I was just here to fix.
Shalom, shalom, y'all Sharala. Want to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakadash, which in the Pele Huber tongues, created the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to sisters and brothers living this truth, and shalom to brothers and sisters that's listening and studying, show themselves approved. Shalom. Now, I wasn't going to cover this. I wasn't going to cover it, but something happened towards the end that made it very spiritual to me. So I'm moving through the spirit to cover it. And what you just seen, for the people that not know, was a fight between two different Hebrew Israelite camps, IUSBK and IUIC. Two 501c3 camps. Both of those camps both have a 501c3 non-tax exempt charter. So they're both controlled by Esau, and they were on a corner together, and they got into a fight. And then it ended up, one camp got arrested. So that's what we just witnessed right there. And that was a big-time embarrassment. As somebody who's supposed to be pushing out the truth of Yahweh Shah, that shouldn't even happen, especially among, your own people, among brethren. Like, I'm enemy is Esau and these heathen nations. Y'all out there banging with each other over a corner that you don't own, that Esau own. They making this thing nigga stuff. You might as well say it's little Ray Ray and little Pookie fighting on the block on who gonna sell their drugs. That's what these carnal camps have turned the truth into. And that's why I couldn't deal with neither one of them at all. Because they like, Esau can use this as fuel to say that we are violent. We violent against each other. If we do it against each other, imagine we do it to somebody else. So this Esau gonna have a field day with this clip that he just sent. You see that Pastor Porkchop, thanks to the elder in Kansas City, Maya Holler, he let me know that was a Pastor Porkchop. He was happy to see it. You see, I was just here recording. I had nothing to do with it. He was happy to see that. He said this is an Israelite fight. So all of us about to go down with that. Because Esau's not going to make a distinction of different groups. Like, okay, you IUSPK, okay, you IUSC, okay, y'all over there Great Millstone. No, we all going to be lumped in together. They call us black Hebrew Israelites. And these Negroes was fighting over a corner Because that is IUSPK's MO. They do that a lot. They always go to other areas where other camps are prophesying at and try to take over. It's like they got that Black Panther, that gangster nigga spirit in them. Because I seen them do it several times. Like, matter of fact, let's go get an example of when they did it to Great Millstone. And you see it was a difference. The brothers stayed in the spirit. They didn't act and get carnal with them brothers.
So, as we see, who's in the background, right? I should be taken.
Right.
Now, the scriptures say this. Romans 15, verse 20. Yea, so I have strived to preach the gospel. Man, the camera, come on closer, bro.
This should be K-Corner. Right. Tell them that.
Romans 15, verse 20.
This should be
Yea,
K-Corner now.
so have I strived to preach the gospel, not where Mashiach was named, lest I should build upon another man's foundation, you see? So, Great Millstone, we've been out here for years. Okay, 4 years. But you see, Jake, look, Jake talk about taking somebody's corner like they on a block. Like it's the ages or something, like they selling crack.
Right.
Or we stealing enough, we taking this corner. We trying to get all the money. We need all the things here. Well, this is the truth. You see?
Right.
This is how much you want to disrespect the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. See? Hey, this is why we don't get down with these other counts, bro.
That's right.
The two walk together said they need agreement.
There you see. And I seen that was 3 years ago when that happened. And I'll put this in the comment or description box. So you can watch the whole thing, how IUSPK get down. They try to run the brothers in Pittsburgh off the corner, been there. That's IUSPK's get down. So when I seen IUSPK get arrested, that right there, hey, that was perfect. You know, that was that perfect karma, as you would say, people say in the world. Because they always want to take somebody's camp. And Maya Holla let me know that IUIC been preaching on that corner. So IUSK showed up for trouble, like they always do. IUIC is a very carnal camp. And you see, they went over there to snatch their little chair up. And they started banging over the chair because they really was fighting over the corner. And it resulted in them getting arrested. And then it shows you that IUIC is juiced in with the police, man. So they held them down. They teaching them, because look, Bishop Nathaniel from IUIC used to be a police officer in New York. So I'm starting to see he taught his camp police tactics, where they held them down and called the police and then handed them over to the police, man. I didn't like that at all. I'm like, why'd you even get Esau involved? How you know the police weren't going to show up and yop up everybody? It shows you Nate is very juiced in with the system. Like, you might as well say that camp is owned by the police. So, and the ISK got what they deserve. They always want to camp bang with somebody. And this time, your people get arrested. That's why you shouldn't be out trying to go to blocks where you know the camps is prophesying at, and then trying to take they, like you say, I'll take your corner, nickel. I'll take you. That's carnal, man. Like, I really believe IUSPK recruits they members fresh out of prison. And not to say that because you out of prison that you can't be a man of the Lord, you know, but you can just tell by the spirit of them. Like, they coming with that Black Panther spirit, the way they dress. They always wear dark sunglasses. And they always, they handle the word for contention and strife. You know, you're not supposed to handle the word for that purposes, especially not to, you know, bang with your own people. That's just straight foolishness right there, man. And all they doing is, that was a very bad display of Israel right there. A very bad display of Israel. And I'm going to go get this. It's going to go to my first precept. And I'm going to put Mario Holler's lesson in the comment section as well. Because he let me know they was on Prospect Street. That happened in Kansas City. That whole incident with IUSPK and IURC. That happened in Kansas City. And he said they in the hood too. That's probably where I had a hood outcome. He said that their Prospect Street ain't nothing but straight hood. And I noticed that because you got IUIC here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you got another camp called Sons of Jacob. And they always go into the corner spots and the hood spots to preach the truth. And that's off, man. You guys go to a cheap place, the concourse. You're not going to really find no hopeful lick in the straight hood, man. At all. And I'm going to put the elders page up, Maya Holler, so you can hear his whole take on it. Because he give a very thorough understanding of what happened and who really, prophesy on the block and where they come from. Like he'll give you the whole rundown. Right now I'm gonna talk about the spiritual significance of the incident that I seen and what I think is gonna play out in the future. So let's go to 2 Corinthians, because what they did, man, they made the whole ministry get blamed, man. It looked bad. Israel looked bad right there. And that's what you should expect from a sellout camp. Both them camps are sellouts. Both of them got 501c3s. General Yohana runs IUSBK. Bishop Nathaniel runs IUIC. Both of those dudes came from the same area that the Apostles and Elders of Great Millstone came from, and they took the bag. So this is 2 Corinthians 6:3. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. So when you out there handling the work of Yahweh Shai, you should not be wanting to embarrass or get the ministry blamed by no accounts. We got guidelines how we handle ourselves out there. The Lord told us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, loosely paraphrasing. And that you didn't see the display of that. There was no brotherly love with that. Now, I don't like those camps per se, but I'm not going to be camp banging with no camp. And like I can say that I like all sincerity. Say, for instance, me and my camp out there, we're a young camp. And, IUIC or Sons of Jacob come out. Or say they beat it, they already at our spot before we get there. That's why we have other spots. We'll just go somewhere else. Because it's all about getting this word out, man, and feeding the sheep. It's about edification. It's not about, I got to look hard and have a block and hold the power. Because really, we don't own these blocks, man. Esau do. So it's not about having a corner or an area or a territory. Like, we can get the word out from multiple different spots, man. It's the sheep getting edified. It's about feeding the sheep. It's about, feeding the hopeful elect. That's what it's all about right there, doing the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Not, oh, this my block, this my corner. Niggas come on our corners, nigga. Hey, we lighten them up. Like, that's nigga stuff, man, to me. That's nigga stuff. And that needs, once you put off that old man and put on the new man, which is the spiritual, you shouldn't be in that nigga mentality. As I said, I'm down there pushing 40, man. I'd be damn if I'm on the block fighting another Hebrew Israelite camp over a corner. That's embarrassing, man. That's very embarrassing. Then, you get arrested and get hauled off to jail. Like, what can I say for this? It's all on film. So, it's best not to get carnal. Like, that one lesson was very edifying. You see Great Millstone, how they dealt with IUSBK, and it end up the same way like it did IUIC. So when you get carnal on top of carnal, or what they say, a nigga to nigga, you get a nigga moment. See, the brothers of Great Millstone come in the spirit of a nigga. So when they're at the provoking Great Millstone, they didn't get the reaction that they wanted. His brothers gonna stay spiritual. Like, that's why I say I love Great Millstone, because we got a lot of good examples of how to conduct ourselves in this truth. Elder Matazakbai had somebody go out there, they tried to invoke him into a fight. The elder in South Carolina, and it didn't work. He stayed in the spirit. We got to use this thing with wisdom. And they didn't use that, man. The ministry got blamed on that one. That's straight ammunition for Esau to persecute all of us. Because they ain't going to make no distinction on the groups, like I said earlier. It's just going to be, look at them, they fighting like niggas. I told you they was violent. See, they're giving Esau all the ammunition he need to roll on us, which we know is going to happen. And that's just further, he just going to use his camps to do it, because he owns both of those camps, IUSBK and IUIC. Both of them are owned by Esau. He got them fighting and banging. So it was like he like Esau owned gangs and make them sell his drugs. They fighting over corners like they selling drugs, man. And they all about building a brand up. Both of them camps is about money. They're not about feeding the sheep or ushering the coming of Yahweh Shai. No, they're about getting money and getting numbers and looking strong. As I said, when you lead it, like I said earlier, if another camp show up or we there, we'll go somewhere else and get the truth off. Does that mean we weak? No. Does that mean they want? No. Because like I said earlier, it's all about getting this truth out. We got multiple different spots. If that spot is hot or it's blew up or somebody there, we can go to another spot and still feed the sheep. That's why the apostle elders told to have multiple spots, not just one. For instances like that. And then this is why I want to get into justice. This is why this is so spiritual. Maya Hollis said they didn't even go out Saturday. They went out Wednesday. So that was the Lord protecting his men from all that riffraff. So they wouldn't get caught up in the mist, man. So that's how I know, we following the right camp. You following the teachings of the apostle elders of Great Millstone, hey, man, you in the right place. You in the right place, man. Get the best seat in the house, man. Buckle down, get edified, and let's keep it in motion. Cause like look what the Lord did, man. He made the Kansas City camp go out Wednesday. Cause they had some brothers go out of town. So they went out Wednesday, let the truth out. And that's the Lord protecting his man. That's mercy right there. So I'm like, the Lord doing that already. Protected his man. Imagine when Jacob's trouble rolled out. So this whole thing just boosted my faith in the truth. This everything that came out of it. And then when I want to here's the spiritual part of what I want to get to on this lesson and what transpired. Now you see how IUIC handed ISPK over to the police, right, Yasharala? Check it out. Now I ain't got scriptures on this, but this is what I believe. Nate gonna hand over his congregation to the police. It's gonna be the same thing. I think he gonna get jammed up. They gonna come down on us because IUIC has to put in paperwork to join that camp, like a job application. So their information is already in the police database. So when Esau get the call to round up all the Hebrew Israelites, the first camp to get snatched up through the spirit, I'm speaking as a man, I believe it's going to be IUIC. I think Nate has already sold out his congregation. And this, you see how easy it is, the police is all cool with them? That's going to flip, man. And Nate going to deliver them over to get arrested by the police and get took to them camps. That's what I think is going to happen through the spirit, man, because Nate is a hireling, man. Matter of fact, let's get to the scriptures on that. Nate is not about this truth. Nate is about money and saving himself. And little they know they doing all this stuff for Nate, and he gonna sell them out. And I believe Junior High gonna sell out this camp. Like I said, they did both 501c3s. They both juiced in. But you can see they favor IUIC more than IUSPK because IUIC got that police background, And you see they held them brothers down like the police. They held them down, man, look just like the police. They held them down just like the police, called the police, and handed them right over to Esau, just like that. After they really, I'll say they started the fight. Because they went over to IUSPK, which that's IUSPK getting a taste of their own medicine. Went over there to try to grab their chair, and then dude swung. And then after that, they all started swinging over a folding chair. IUIC dude went over and tried to grab IUSPK's chair, and they just started banging, man. And usually that's IUSPK doing that. Now it happened to them. So this thing has happened perfectly. So let's start out with John 10 and 11. And it reads, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. Here go 12. But he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. 13. The hireling fleeth because he is a hireling and careth not for the sheep. See, that's the point I want to make. Nate don't give a damn about his congregation, man. He making big money off of them. They got to pay $200 to go to their Passover. They got to, I think they pay something called camp dues, if I'm not mistaken. And he got all the information. And when stuff get hot, when it get bad and persecution come, man, they gonna deliver them up, man, to the police. They gonna get delivered up to Esau. Why? Because Nate's a hireling. He don't care about the hopeful elect. Not like Yahweh Shai do. Nate ain't coming in that spirit. He don't even use the names. Junior Yohana don't care about the sheep. He just care about money. He gonna give up his camp too. Now, I don't know how ISPK does, their membership. I don't know how they do it, but I know they got a 501c3. They juiced in. Now, I know for a fact they do a job application. And you got to submit your information to get in their camp. So that's in the police database. And they for sure about to get snatched up. I believe through the Spirit, the first camp to get snatched up is going to be IUIC. They're going to be delivered up to Esau and took it to them camps, man. And they ain't going to know what to do. They don't know what the MOTB is. But they just now learning what Jacob's trouble is. And they just now starting to teach them about that. And I don't know how well he done taught them. So I don't see them dudes being armored up to deal with what's about to go. And you see everything is in their favor right now. When Jacob's trouble hit, it's not going to be. The police is not going to be on any Jake side when this thing go down. They might feel they got the police on their side now. When the police turn on them, they going to feel hurt and they ain't going to know what to do. Because they always had the system working in their favor, as we did seen that. So, through the Spirit, man, I truly believe that IUIC will be delivered up to Esau when it get bad. Nate is going to give them up. He cares not for the sheep. Junior Yohana doesn't either. And those all them people that follow them, because they blind leaders, man. They blind leaders. You see the leadership is all bad. They really not well versed in the Spirit. They don't conduct themselves correctly either. I know that they all come in this off nigga spirit. IUIC coming that fraternity spirit, like some college Q-Dog stuff. And then ISPA coming that Black Panther jailhouse spirit. So I don't like neither one of them camps. And you ought to feel very blessed. You ought to feel very, privileged that you've been open up to this truth. Starting Apostle Elders of Great Millstone. It's the best camp in Israel. Yasharala, trust me. I done checked all the others out. And Great Millstone got the 100% truth. And that's why we get Apostle Elders double honors, man. They teach well and rule well and show us young brothers how to do this the correct way. I mean, these other leaders, they lack wisdom, man. Like where I worked at my job, all them IUIC dudes got fired because they was not walking around with wisdom. They was walking around at work with their fringes on, popping off the mouth about the truth, telling Esau about the truth, and they all got rounded up and fired. And I'm like, that goes back to your leadership because your elders should have taught you better than that. You see, they look at this thing as a popularity thing. That's why a lot of people join IUIC because they're the biggest camp. You can see that's how they was easily to subdue IUSPK. IUSPK had, a handful of dudes. IUIC had about 20, 30 dudes. That's why a lot of people join IUIC because they got the biggest numbers. They ain't really looking for the Spirit. They looking for who got the most money and who got the biggest congregation. That's what Jake gonna flock to. Jake ain't looking for, okay, which camp got the Spirit in it. That should be they insight, their thinking. But your average Jake don't think like that. Your average Jake is carnal. So they're going to want things that appeal to them. And Nate is very good at appealing to the public. And then General Yohana ISPK is good at appealing to, the rough gangster niggas. That's the ones he recruit. Fresh out of prison. He's real good at that. Because that dude said a lot of crazy stuff out his mouth. I think that only appeases a nigga. It's offensive to me, the stuff he be saying. General Yohana is just off the chain. I'm like, God dang. That bag that big, you just spitting out madness out your mouth? And I feel like he shouldn't have no congregation after stuff he done said, but they still down. They must be getting paid. So I just wanted to do a quick lesson because it was spiritual. Because I feel like these 501c3 camps, they're going to be the first ones to get snatched up when Esau comes down with great wrath and decides to, first the family of the word going to come out, and then they're going to try to prosecute all the prophets, all the camps, the groups that preach the truth. And if you got a 501c3, man, you in league with Esau. That's a contract with Esau, 501c3, non-tax exempt charter. That's a contract with Esau. So if you with a group that has a contract with the devil, how can you be looking to get delivered and you ain't connected to Yahweh Shah? You connected to Esau. You know how Esau gonna do you when you close to him. He gonna be like, thank you very much. They probably looking on the paperwork now at all the Nate's members. And they like, kind of like when the big dude get caught He get the snitching. He give up all the little dudes. Man, that's what these leaders about to do, man. That's what these leaders about to do with these little 501c3 camps, man. IUSPK, IUIC. That's what's about to happen. I truly believe that through the spirit. They about to give them up. Because I didn't like that. I'm like, man, y'all could have subdued them. Y'all had them tackled, could have got up. Hey, went your little way. Nah, they got to call the police. They got to send somebody to jail if that's what happened. But I know they did. We seen they did get arrested. They did get arrested. So they sure they close with the police over in the IUIC. So with that, man, hey, feel thankful that you're not following these Teach Your Other Friends groups, none of these nigga groups. Feel thankful for that day. The Lord showed you who the real men of Yahweh are. And we're seeing them, and we're learning how to do this thing the correct way. Because I feel good about that, Yahshua. You should feel good too. And that's what he said, don't follow them other camps. Show not no camp. They got a 501c3. That equals sellout. And you can't expect to get no good edification from no sellout. It's not going to happen. A.K.a. a hireling, as the scriptures call them. You know, he don't give a damn about you. He trying to get his pockets greased. So with that, I hope this is edifying. I want to say, Kwam Yashrala, Dite Babal, Shalom.